Hey guys, it's me Sandra, TTC 45. I didn't think I would be coming back with an update this quick, but I had to come back with a update because I really need my TTC sisters to pray for me right about now. The pregnancy is not really starting off on a good note. I had failed to mention in my last video that on 7 days past transfer, I had some spotting, and I was concerned that it came on 7 days after I had already tested positive for pregnancy, so I didn't think that it had anything to do with implantation. But after doing a little research, I learned that sometimes implantation bleeding does not come out right away. So it was very well possible that there was still implantation bleeding, especially because the color was brown. So I was okay as far as bleeding is concerned after that one day, even for about a couple hours. But then, as you guys know, my birthday was yesterday. I had a birthday party on Saturday. I didn't really do much at the party besides walk around in the pool for a little bit and pretty much entertain everybody. I was taking it easy. I wasn't doing anything strenuous. I may have been a little bit over busy, but as far as that is concerned, that's all I was doing. And then I woke up yesterday morning to some more spotting, just like the same spotting I had that I believe was implantation bleeding. So I was 6 weeks, I turned 6 weeks on Saturday, I believe. And I wasn't too concerned because I have a pregnancy app. The pregnancy app told me that I'm just turning 6 weeks and that I may start having a little bleeding because this is the time where the placenta is pretty much forming itself and the umbilical cord is getting attached. So when I had the bleeding, I didn't get too concerned because I had already been pre-warned about it. But I did contact my RE to let them know, and they responded telling me that that was okay. You know, it's okay for the first 12 weeks to have little, bleeding. But then later that evening, I took a shower, and after I got out of the shower, I noticed this gush come out of me, which by me taking the endometrium, I have a lot of little small gushes that come out because that's the side effect to the endometrium. However, I've never had one that just came out splashing and just started dropping. So I immediately looked down, and this is TMI. I immediately looked down at my underwear to a whole panty liner full of red blood, and it really scared the crap out of me. At this moment, I knew that this had to be more than just, a normal bleed. So I ended up going to the toilet to wipe, and I was bleeding so bad the whole toilet bowl turned red. I wiped myself, and there was a little bitty small clot. I just knew at that moment that the pregnancy was ending. I mean, I had to accept it. It was almost like I just prepared my mind for it. But I put on some clothes and I went to the emergency room. The lady asked me what was I there for, and I told them I think I'm possibly having a miscarriage. So they saw me pretty quickly, not too quick, but pretty quickly. While I was waiting in the waiting area, they wanted me to get them a urine sample, and it was embarrassing to get them back the cup because the cup didn't even look like urine at all. It just was full of blood. And so then they called me to the back. I told them my story, and when the bleeding started, they wanted me to get them another urine sample. And I didn't know if I was going to be able to get them the urine sample because I had just emptied my bladder prior to going back there. But I figured, what the heck, I'll try. And I went in the bathroom, and as soon as I sat down to kind of give myself that push to get the urine out came this big, gigantic blob. I mean, it was big as my hand. Big blob blood clot. At that point, I just accepted it. It's over. I called my godmom. Well, I didn't call her because I was at the hospital. But I texted my godmother. I texted my cousin. I even texted my TTC sister, Tamika TTC. And I told them it's over with. It's done. You know, I just got to try again. And they was all telling me, no, it's not done. Don't believe it. You know, let them tell you it's done. It's not done until they tell you it's done. Maybe that can be something else. I even text my boss, and she's like, well, since it was in your urine, do you think it could be a UTI? And I'm like, it's possible, but the way this is bleeding, this is coming from the vaginal area. So they was like, well, I'm praying everything is okay. And my cousin, she was the main one. I mean, like I told you guys, this has been my support sister from day one. And she was like, no, cuz, no, we're going to pray about it. She said, let's stop right now. Let's stop chatting and let's just pray. And I prayed. She prayed and I prayed. And the ultrasound tech came in to take me to the ultrasound to take a look up in there. And I noticed how she pulled the little ultrasound thing so close to her where I couldn't see anything. So I just asked her, which I kind of figured she probably was going to say no. I said, can I see? And she's like, well, they don't really like us showing you guys anything, you know, because we're not allowed to give you guys any type of information that they want to be the ones to give it to you, so they don't really let us see it. I said, I understand. I said, I just want to see. She's like, well, let me finish this up and we'll see. And I said, okay. So she was just taking pictures. I was trying to peek through the glasses that she had on to see if I could see the screen, and I saw absolutely nothing. And so she finally stopped and she turned the screen around. And she showed me the little round circle, and she said, now you look right there. She said, there go your little baby right there. And she said, you see that flickering? That's the heartbeat. And when I say I was overjoyed, oh my God, I wouldn't have thought nothing different. I was like, are you kidding me? It's still in there? She's like, it's still there, and it has a great heart rate. I was like, oh my God. I was just so happy. My eyes just filled with tears. I didn't know how to respond to that. I was like, oh my God. All I kept saying was, thank you, Lord. Thank you, Jesus. Oh my God, Lord, I'm so proud. I'm so thank you for you. I was really thanking him because I really thought it was over with, and it was everybody else that kept saying, but don't think negative. It's not over with. So, of course, she couldn't give me no information, but, you know, I had to wait till the doctor came in to give me the official results, and it turned out that I have what they call a subchorionic hematoma, also called a subchorionic hemorrhage. And what that is, I wrote it down here. It said, a subchorionic hematoma is the most common sonographic abnormality in the presence of a live embryo. Vaginal bleeding affects 25% of all women during the first half of pregnancy, and it is common reason for the first trimester ultrasonography. So the doctor came in and he explained to me what that was. He said that happens when the placenta does not fully attach itself to the wall, and it develops this clot in between the uterus and the placenta, and the clot fills with blood. And so though that blood is what causes the bleeding, and you can get this on and off bleeding all the way through 20 weeks of pregnancy. Now, of course, after I went home and I learned about this, I was Googling like I don't know what, not to mention YouTube, and I came across plenty of vlogs on this subject of women that was diagnosed with this. And I did not find one woman that had lost a pregnancy because of it. Most of the women, they went on to have healthy pregnancies, and that's what the doctor at the ER told me, that you know, now I'm at a higher risk of having miscarriage. So I'm definitely not out of the woods. Until the bleeding is completely gone, the bleeding can actually cause the placenta to detach itself from the uterus and cause what they call a miscarriage all the way through the second trimester, all the way through the third trimester. So I'm definitely not out of the woods yet. They said that it's something that has to heal on its own. It usually reabsorbs itself back into the body, but some women it goes longer. But, you know, they wanted me to have pelvic rest, which means nothing in the vagina, which I haven't put nothing in the vagina since they told me that I was pregnant. And they also said that, of course, I've increased my chances of having a miscarriage, but that doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to have a miscarriage. We're going to ban that in the name of Jesus, that this baby is going to be healthy. And this is why I came with a new update, because I need my TTC sisters to pray for me and pray for my little being. I was just overflowed. I was so filled with joy about the fact that the baby was still there, till I wasn't even really thinking about this whole, what is it called, subchorionic hematoma thing. But it is very serious. It's not nothing to mess around with, especially when you're this early. But the statistics shows that 90% of the women goes on to have healthy pregnancies. The good thing about me, the reason why I had all that heavy bleeding is because I released most of it. I released it all, except there is still more there. I contacted the RE office last night and left them a message. They called me this morning and wanted to immediately see me. When I got there, they did another ultrasound. They still saw the baby. The heart rate was doing great, 110 beats per minute. Told me that that was normal, and that they still see a little bleeding up in there. And but he wanted me to do more than just pelvic rest. He wanted me to do strict bed rest. So I'm off for work for the next week to kind of rest. They want the rest of the bleeding to just either come out or just stop permanently, so that it won't interfere with the placenta trying to detach itself. Okay guys, I'm sorry about that. Somehow my phone just cut itself off. But anyway, they want me to start taking the progesterone oil shots now. They gave me my first shot inside of the office. So I'm not sure if I'm going to have somebody to be able to give it to me, but they did show me how to try to give it to myself. But the more progesterone in my system, the more the bleeding will stop, and that's what they want. They want the bleeding to completely stop, so that the interference with the placenta will not take place and cause me to have what they call a subsequent abortion, is what they told me. So anyway, I'm just praying that this little being stays stuck. It's doing great. Nothing is wrong with the baby thus far. The only thing that can happen is that the baby would detach itself if the bleeding doesn't stop. In some instances, like I said, it dissolves on its own. In other instances, it end up getting worse. So they're going to be watching me very closely through ultrasound just to make sure it does not get worse. And once I start with my OB, the same thing is going to happen. They're going to be watching me very closely to make sure it does not get worse. But in the meantime, I'm going to be at home, just relaxing the rest of the week. I really hate that I had to be sitting up in the emergency room all day on my birthday. But it's bittersweet, you know. At least I know that the little being is still there, because I had completely thought it was over with. When I saw that blood, I just panicked, I freaked. But I don't feel bad, because when I came across some of the other videos of other women who has this same type of condition, they all had the same response, that they thought they had a miscarriage too. So when you're pregnant and you see all this blood, you don't have a choice but to think that this is what's going on. So I'm glad that God saw otherwise, and he didn't let it be so. And I am grateful for the prayers that I was getting from those that was supporting me by text. My godmama, Tamika TTC, I love you, sister. And my god sister, not my god sister, my cousin, and who else? My boss. They've been checking on me all night up until this morning. And like I said, the news is bittersweet, but I'm still not out of the woods. But you know, where two or three are gathered, the Lord said I will be in the midst. So I just really need you guys to gather around and pray for me, and we're gonna pray that this baby make it through and I won't have to go through the transfer process again. So that's all I have for you guys, ladies, today. Any other additional news that I get, I will definitely keep you guys updated. I did go to the RE today. I was trying to sneak and video the ultrasound, but they be too close to you to do that. So what I did was just let the video record so that y'all can hear what was being said in the background. So I'm gonna attach that to the end of this video so you guys can hear the conversation I was having with the doctor. Okay, so I wish you guys the best of luck, and Sticky baby does to you. Bye. Glad about that, cause yesterday it was horrible.
I bet. I mean, it was awfully scary, that's for sure.
Yes. Yes.
Did they tell you to go to the emergency room yesterday, or you just?
No, I just went because it was after hours. Do y'all got an after hours?
We have
emergency
a call.
line?
Yeah, we do. Come down a little bit more. Yeah, if you call the regular line, and if it says after hours, it'll give you the phone number.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't know that. Hello, dear. Hey.
Alright, so there it is there. You see that little flicker? That's the heartbeat.
You see it?
Yeah, they showed it to me last night.
Looks like she has that little bleed there.
Yeah. You may have some more bleeding. See, I'll show you. Show the cervix. Do you see? This is the cervix coming to the outside. There's a little collection of blood here. It's about this much. How much bleeding have you had?
Man, I soaked through 2 pads.
So a lot of it has come out.
I soaked through 2 pads, and
What was your plan for the
I
next
had a
few?
big gigantic clot this big as my hand fell out.
What was your plan for the next couple of days?
As far as
What are you planning on doing? Activity-wise?
Nothing but going to work.
Can you take a few days off?
Yeah, but I have to get a doctor's.
Yeah, we'll give you a doctor's note.
I requested for an updated FMLA because mine's expired the end of June, but they haven't gave me the paperwork yet.
Take a week off. As long as you're bleeding like this, I think just be at home and rest. This is the point where, as a doctor, I cannot do anything more. It's now between you and your upper.
Yeah. So should I be concerned?
Yeah. Whenever there's bleeding, there's concern. But you're taking plenty of progesterone. You're on the shots as well, right?
No, I'm not on those.
Then we'll start you on the shots then. What are you taking in terms of medications right now?
I just take the metformin and the one you gave me for the thyroid.
Yes.
The Synthroid. I take a baby aspirin.
Yes. What about estrogen and progesterone?
I still take that.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Right, I still take the estrogen, but I take the in the suppository.
Okay, you're taking the vaginal tablets?
Yes, I'm taking
Endometrium.
In the mouth, the endometrium by mouth and by vaginal.
Who's giving you estrase orally and endometrium vaginally, right?
You guys giving me that. Ain't nobody else giving me that. I take it orally and vaginally, the estrase.
Okay. But the prometrium, the endometrium, you're taking it vaginally, right?
Yes.
Okay, then
3 times a day.
Beautiful. I'm going to add a shot of progesterone injection. I need to calm down this uterus.
Okay.
We'll see if I can give you one here right now, and then take one shot every day, 1 cc.
How long is it going to take for this bleeding to stop?
I don't know. It's a very good question. I'm hoping it will stop today, but it's not up to me. So what I'm doing is calming down the progesterone is a uterine relaxant. So you're on endometrium, but whenever there's bleeding like this, we worry about blood interfering with the progesterone absorption. So I'm going to add the intramuscular shot, and we'll take it a day at a time.
110 was the heartbeat today.
Beautiful.
Okay, so before you leave, we're going to get everything organized for you. And you need a note for your for your work?
Yes.
Okay, so baby looks perfect. Nice heartbeat today. 110, so that's really good. Anything above 100 is what we want to see, okay?
Okay.
So before you leave, we'll get you all your stuff that you could bring to your work so you can be off for the week, okay?
Okay.
All right.